Good morning. My name is Andy Ray. It's Andy-Ray. I'm the police chief in the city of Auburndale. Want to give you a briefing today about a fatal pedestrian crash that occurred early this morning at approximately 6:24 a.m. at the intersection of Auburndale Boulevard and U.S. Highway 92. There was a crash involving a pickup truck and a small child pedestrian. Our investigation at this point shows that the child was in the median of Auburndale Boulevard, kind of near the northern tip of the median at the intersection with U.S. Highway 92. It was dark outside. There is street lighting in the area, but it is still rather dark. At that point, one of our officers actually saw the child. The child crossed the street in front of our officer as he was turned onto Auburndale Boulevard. And he went down, made a U-turn to come back and find out why the child was out at that hour and to make sure the child was okay and also to ensure her safety. And as he made his U-turn and started coming back, a pickup truck that was eastbound on US 92 in the outside lane came through the intersection. The child left the median, ran into the street, and was struck by the pickup truck. The pickup truck driver did not know that he hit a person, and he thought that he had run over something in the road. He felt it, but didn't actually see the child. He continued about 3 miles to the city of Lake Alfred when another motorist flagged him down and told him that he had hit somebody. He turned around immediately, came back to the scene. When he arrived at the scene, our officer was already on scene and had help coming. There's no indication at all that the driver of the pickup truck was impaired. He is very upset, obviously, about what happened. He works for a company that has onboard video. So that video is we've already viewed, and we do have that as evidence, and we'll be using that in our investigation as well. The video indicates pretty much what the scene shows. There's not any excessive speed. He was actually below the speed limit at the time the crash occurred. One thing that could have contributed to the crash is that there was a tractor trailer, and this is just from a cursory review of the video on a couple of different occasions this morning. But there was a tractor trailer ahead of the gentleman in the pickup truck, and that tractor trailer was in the outside lane, and it exited, basically made the turn onto Auburndale Boulevard to go eastbound on Auburndale. At that point, watching the video, you don't see the child immediately, but then the child runs into the street and is struck by the pickup truck. She was 6 years old. Obviously, she was small, and she was struck on the right front corner of the pickup truck in the area of the headlight and the right front bumper. So, it's possible that she saw that truck coming, and once that truck made the turn, she assumed maybe it was safe to run across the street, with tragic results, unfortunately. It's a hard time for us, and it's a super hard time for the family, and it's a hard time for the driver of the pickup truck as well. He's understandably upset. Our investigation continues. Of course, what's the big question in our minds is, why was a 6-year-old child out at 6:30 in the morning in the dark by herself? And that's concerning for us, and we will get to the bottom of it. We are continuing with interviews, research, and with our investigation. No charges at this point today. We'll see where our investigation takes us. I don't anticipate right now, knowing what I know and seeing the evidence at the scene and reviewing the video, I don't anticipate charges for the driver. And so, but that will continue as well.
What about for the parents? And why was she there at 6 o'clock in the morning anyway?
Right. So that's our question.
From what you know?
From what I know, she was attempting to locate her mother, who had left the house, and that it's possible at this point that it followed some sort of a dispute at home. Those are the things we're investigating, and those are the answers we want.
Have police been called to that home before?
We have.
For situations involving children?
We have.
Do you have any sense of how many times and how recently?
The last time that we were there was in September of 2020.
Chief, have you located the parents, and have they given any kind of explanation as to why they would leave a child, or let a child out like that?
We have located the parents. They have been, obviously they were notified. The father showed up on scene, and then we went with him back to the house to make notification to the mother. There's not right now, we haven't had a real good interview with them. We have had one that's given us a little more information that helps us understand some of what may be going on, but we still have a lot of questions.
Can you speak at all to the family dynamics? We've been told by some family that DCF has been involved in this child's life. Do you know anything about that, or how long ago that was?
I don't know, and I don't know that I can say necessarily right now. I know that there has been some involvement with DCF.
According to the family, there's other children. I mean, are those children still in their care, or is there concern about these other children?
There is concern about the other children for sure. There's concern by us, and there's concern by the family as well. One of the first things we did this morning was to talk to DCF to make notifications to them as well, so that they can take actions as far as if there needs to be any emergency placement, things of that sort.
I want to confirm, you said police were last called September 2020, so over a year ago? Or
Yes,
a few months
yes,
ago?
no, that's right, September 2020.
Okay.
Can you talk about the nature of the argument? Was it just verbal, or did it escalate to violence?
The mother said that there was no violence. It was just an argument this morning.
No idea over what?
None.
So you
Did the
and I-
mother leave the home, or did the mother and father leave the home?
The mother left the home walking, and then at some point the father left. I don't know if he left with the intent of trying to locate the child, or if there was some other reason that he left, and I can't say whether the mother was back home when he left. That's all part of the continuing investigation.
Going to identify the name of the driver?
Yes. I will do that in a separate release. I just sent a release a few minutes ago, but I'll provide the updates on the driver and the child.
Okay.
And are you officially releasing the name of the child?
Yes. Her name is Renisha Jackson.
Spelling?
RA''NESHA Jackson, JACKSON.
Since you're releasing names, what about the name of the driver now? Because
I don't have it with me in my notes, but I'll send that to you. I can get it to you actually before we leave.
I'm going to ask you a Grady question, because he always kind of gives these gut reactions. Your gut reaction to something like this happening, the sequence of events and how it ended up.
Yeah, for us in the business we're in, we always, we're always most troubled by the cases that involve children, and so for us it's always hard to see a child who's hurt, and very traumatic for us to see a child who's deceased, and so the things that led up to it, we're still unpacking, and we'll figure that out. you know, if it is over argument, family dynamic like that, it makes you scratch your head about the decisions that were made by adults.
I do want to ask, so the we believe that the mother left the house. Did that leave the home without any adults inside of it?
No, our understanding is that when the mother left the house walking, the father was still there.
Were there any other children in the home?
Yes, there are several other children.
How many?
I think there are 2 others, but I'm not positive.
And were there other family members there, adults?
At the time,
Yeah.
no.
Can you say the father was there?
Yes.
But just the 2,
Okay.
mom and dad? Okay. And did you say an officer actually saw the incident happen?
He almost saw it. I mean, he basically, she ran across the road, and as he was turning on Havendale Boulevard, and you know, immediately he thought, what is, you know, what's going on? Why would that child be out here now and by herself? So he made a U-turn on Havendale at the turnaround and was coming back. And as we watched the video, you can see headlights coming towards the intersection from probably, by then it's, you know, more than 100 feet back. But I was watching the video with him. I said, "Is this you?" Because it was the only car that was visible. And he said, "That's me." So he either saw it or he saw the result of it right after it happened. So
How's he doing?
he's doing okay. He's a sharp guy, and we have a chaplain who is a super guy for the police department. We called him to just kind of minister to whoever he could that was out there, but also to have him talk with our officer a little bit. And, you know, we'll make sure that he's good. Any other questions? All right, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.